have said to Cody Rhodes, at some point you're going to have to make a choice.
Do it, Cody!
Be a good guy or be a bad guy. What is Cody Rhodes going to choose?
Oh, come on!
And he chose to be the good guy, and John Cena just kicked him in the...
Well, there's your kryptonite, Cody.
And John Cena has absolutely no problem being a bad guy. Cody Rhodes wanted to do it fair and square. John Cena didn't give a damn. Chad Patton is back.
You cannot be a perfect
Cena
ambassador.
now, cover by Cena, cover by Cena. Patton's in the ring. John Cena has set the record.
Hello, friends, listeners, and newcomers. It's me, Eric B., and this is Sunday night's main event on the Hub Sports Entertainment Network. Thank you for joining us, and this is the WrestleMania Night 2 recap show. I am here with some other maniacs, and the most maniac of the maniacals. It is Randy C., my puppy in crime. Randy, say hi to the fine folks.
I don't answer to any clickbait introductions like that. Please do it again.
Please try better. Folks, this is my puppy in crime. His name is Randy C. Randy, just bark at the folks, dude. You're contractually obliged to bark. So go ahead and do so. Pup.
Bark at the folks. How do aliens pay for coffee, you may ask? They use Starbucks. Hey, everybody. Hey, Eric B. Hey, everybody. It's me, Randy C. And as usual, we are powered by something. We are powered by Huge Pop Radio. Join Donnie and Jimmy every single week. Wednesdays on TSN 690, except for this week because they're on Thursday. Thank you, Montreal Canadiens. But they're on Thursday at 11 p.m. Donnie and Jimmy give you the week's news, rumors, and an interview here too. Their pops and flops. That's Huge Pop Radio on TSN 690 and on Spotify or any podcasting platform. As well as the newest in our favorite show, especially Eric B's on the Hub, the Sports Entertainment Network. The Dynamite Drop with Sean Burkhead and Ashley. They give you the week's AEW Dynamite review. Join them every week, every Friday, on the Hub Sports Entertainment Network. As well as the Smack Daddies. Brad the Dad and Father Greg Feltham give you the week's WWE SmackDown review. What's going to happen? The SmackDown after WrestleMania? I don't know, but Greg will probably complain about it. Join them every Saturday morning for their SmackDown review. That's the Smack Daddies. You can also follow them here on the Hub or on YouTube. Go like, subscribe, and give them a comment or two. As well as Story Time with Jimmy. Jimmy's a former WWE ref, and he'll give you some stories about back in his day. As well as the Canadian Brewhouse. Please sponsor Dad. Here.
The Canadian Brewhouse All-Stars have come to play. Here's a food and drink lineup so full of excitement it's terrifically tantalizing. Wings on the left side, pizza on the right, burgers and fries fighting hard in the corners for scrumptious supremacy. Oh, looks like we have a penalty upcoming for double dipping. Wait, no, he fakes. Oh, what a move. Sensational from start to finish. So buckle in and belly up because we got one heck of an all-star experience at the Canadian Brewhouse.
As well as interiorplants.ca. Want your home or business more beautiful? Hey, Eric? Go to interiorplants.ca and the Doctor of Plantonomics can help you out. That's interiorplants.ca. As well as the handshaking team. Eric B is too busy laughing to show me anything of what's available this week. So there's probably nothing. But go to facebook.com/the handshaking team, where Eric B has a whole bunch of different prizes, collectibles, always up for raffle. This week, he has $5. You could win it. $5. So go to facebook.com/the handshaking team and you will have your chance to win $5. So there you go. As well as we have a special guest, Eric B. He is formally, it's a familiar voice back on the Hub Sports Entertainment Network, especially when it was SNME Radio. He is from the new Age Outlaws. And no, I'm not talking about that legendary group in the WWE world. I'm talking about that amazing Canadian band. He's our man. My right-hand man, formerly of Dark Side of the Elite. And the New Age Outlaws have another album and a video coming out within the next 4 years, we promise. It is Eric Reid. Eric Reid, welcome.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I promise it'll come out at least in 5 years, 6 years max.
I said 4.
That music video was recorded like 2 ex-girlfriends ago for me at this point. So we can tell how long that's been. Like, we recorded it 2 months ago. Guys, what a couple of nights. What a fun couple of nights. I think that everybody is safe. It's safe to say that everybody is absolutely drained from wrestling from these last 4 days. Whatever you can say. If it's not WrestleMania weekend, if it's not WWE, there is just product all over the place and all in our face. So we are here to talk about the haps and the craps. We're here to talk about the ups and the downs, the goods and the bads of night 2, just in case you haven't watched the whole thing or you haven't been able to digest it yet. But to say that you wouldn't know about some of the results by now, you have to be living entirely under a rock, disconnected, in the middle of nowhere, maybe in some groundlands. I don't know. Maybe you have satellite dishes. Maybe you can hear Eric Reid now about to tell you all of his thoughts and feelings about WrestleMania Night 2. But we are here to have one hell of a good time. And we need that extra boost from Mr. Reid today. That's for sure. I know Randy is absolutely drained. Randy, how'd that back feeling, brother? Did you take a back bump or what?
I never took a back bump. I couldn't even get up to take a bump anyways. But my back hurts, but not as much when I have my 2 favorite E's surrounded me right now. And that is Eric Reid and Eric Blondon. Sorry. Here to go over WrestleMania Night 2. I apologize. You guys are both my favorite Erics. Talk about Night 2. And what a wonderful weekend it was. And we have another night of wrestling tonight, Eric B. Don't forget, because we have Draw Straws Raw tomorrow. The Raw after WrestleMania. So you're going to get us, everybody, 2 days in a row. And enjoy.
It's gonna be absolutely overdone. By the end of this, you're going to want to unsubscribe from me and Randy, because we not only offer this show to you, but we do offer the absolute worst Raw review or best Raw review on the internet, depending on where you search, right? So if this is your first time coming to the network, make sure to come back to us tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Raw after Mania, but for now, we are locked and loaded. Boys, should we talk about WrestleMania Night 2, or should we just sit here and talk about life? Do you think people want to hear about life, or they want to hear about wrestling?
Well, not yours, but let's talk about wrestling, I guess.
Oh, my beloved bastard partner in crime, puppy in crime here, Randy C. I love you, buddy. And you know what else I love? WrestleMania season. I also like it when it lands on Easter weekend, and I also like it when it lands on another special holiday that passed yesterday. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Eric Reid? No, okay, I'm not going to get him to crack just yet, folks. But we are finally able to say that WrestleMania weekend is done in the city of sin, Las Vegas, the place that is designed for events. And this was an absolute spectacle from start to finish. When we talk about the stage, the pyro, everything that was happening, including but not limited to, for the first time ever, fans being included in the display in the stage. Guys, on night 1, how long did it take you to cue into that? Because at first it was like, is that a prop? Like, how long did it take you to cue in that there was people there on the entrance?
I don't think until I saw the Logan Paul match and I saw the drum go up, that's how long it took me into night 2. I think night 1 wasn't even on my radar, I'm going to be honest.
Randy, what about you, buddy?
I honestly thought they were cutouts, to be honest with you, for the longest time, just because most of my friends are cutouts anyway, so they look pretty similar. But yeah, I'm with Eric Reid there. Probably until the Logan Paul match, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like anybody really involved it until Logan Paul did it. We're going to talk about all the matches in detail, but Logan Paul's entrance in comparison to some of his other ones, not nearly as standoutish as he's been in the past. But I had some family over watching wrestling with me, not really huge wrestling fans. And even during that match when he came out, they were like, oh, Logan Paul's wrestling, right? So this is a reason why he's here. That's why he brings eyes to the card. And the card for night 2 was absolutely stacked. Me and Randy talked about it in our prediction show. When you look at night 1 on paper in comparison to night 2 had all of the glitz, all of the glamour, and all of the real big matches, the meaningful matches. And I don't want to discount night 1 at all, because night 1, in my opinion, definitely under-promised and over-delivered. Randy, what do you think about that?
100%. You used an analogy before we were talking on air. Please reuse or tell us again what you said. But it is a perfect analogy for night 1 and night 2.
Absolutely. So when we look at this being a 2-night thing, which online, unless you're living under a rock, you know that people were griping and complaining about night 1, 2-night WrestleManias. Why do we have to have 2-night WrestleManias? For one, we're never going back to 1-night WrestleManias. So let's just get that completely out of our head. We're not going to miss out on all of this revenue that we have on the table. That's the way it is. It's a business model. But as far as the whole thing played out, night 1 was a mediocre card and an incredible main event. Night 2, incredible card. I don't want to say mediocre main event, but mediocre ending to the main event. So yes, the ending matters a lot, so I have to say mediocre main event. And let's break it down, boys. Are you ready to go? Should we talk about this?
Let's do it.
All righty. Well, Allegiant Stadium still in Paradise, Nevada, aka Las Vegas, Nevada. Very hot place too, may I add. Very, very warm place. That's why maybe Damian Priest was completely gassed at the end of his match. We're going to get to that, though, too. The guy needed some help. He needed some milk. But Ava Max opens the show, and the best part about it was the announcer for WWE announcing her over 50 million streams worldwide. And then as soon as she went to sing, not a single noise was made. Not a cheer, not a boo. Everyone's like, who is this person? We get it. We used her song before as one of our intros, but nobody knows who you are. So WWE, especially Netflix era, Randy, is really harping on these Netflix stars. We see it later tonight as well when there is a poor Indian man who comes on the screen and they're like, this is Raj, and he stars in Raj Saini, and not a single peep. Not one noise is made. We're in the wrong place for this. This is not the place to announce this celebrity. But talking about stars, we have 3 stars to start off the night. We've got Rhea Ripley. We got the champion, Io Sky, and the contender, who was my favorite leading into this, Bianca Belair. And holy moly, did this match start off the card hot. There wasn't a dull moment in this fight. And it absolutely was a fight. At numerous times, the storyline is that Io Sky is going to be disrespected, looked past, and there was many times where Bianca and Rhea let their guards down to allow Io Sky to do the things that she does. Sorry, I didn't mention that Stephanie McMahon also opened the show, which was a nice surprise to see Stephanie on our screen in an actual capacity, not only just as the potential Kris Jenner coming out to introduce the stage on the Pat McAfee show. Randy messages me and says,
"Oh no, yeah, okay." I did. Yes.
"Go ahead, Randy."
No, it was great. It was great. It was good to see her. Yeah, she looked very nice in the white. On night 2, I will say she looked very, very good. And yeah, what did you think, Eric Reid, on Stephanie McMahon opening the show?
I mean, I thought it was good. She tied it together cohesively. You know, she was 16 at the last Mania in Vegas. Her daughter's 16 now, and right to the point. I will say you can tell that Netflix money and Peacock money is kicking in though, because look at that stage and look at her, like just the production quality was unbelievable this year. Like even just from the intro right through all the matches, everything.
Everybody's intros were absolutely phenomenal. Night 1 main event intros were just pure cinema. Everybody, all 3 got the same thing for this match too. Rhea just gets an incredible entrance, Bianca as well, and then Io, the champion. Really, the whole entire story of this match is that the strength of Bianca and Rhea are going to overwhelm Io Sky. There's going to be things that Rhea does in this match, including an avalanche riptide, which is potentially, you think, is going to end this match. A ton of recently we've talked a lot about the Netflix era being filled with reversals of finishers, or too many finishers, and roll-ups to end match. This match was heavily dominated by reversals. Randy, what did you think about the part of the match there where it was just all creative finishes, reversals?
When you talk about the end of this match, I'll definitely give you my opinion on it. But this, from top to finish, you more or less said it at the very beginning, top to finish, and these reversals, the sequences, the absolutely incredible. But yeah, the whole story throughout the match, like you were saying, Io Sky being sort of forgotten about it, and the commentators made sure you knew about this. Everybody talking about Bianca and Rhea. What about Io? We sort of said it on the predictions show. Like, Io Sky, what's going to happen to her afterwards if she loses? And the commentators wanted to tell you that she should not be not thought about at all, and that she definitely has better Steiner chance in Steiner math in this match than people are giving her, because it's absolutely true. But yes, the sequences, like you said, were absolutely incredible.
Sequences, high spots, absolute moments of where you thought there was no way that people could come back from that. And Reid, I got to go to you on this one. How about when Rhea goes ahead? Reid. When Rhea goes ahead and counters the Poison Rana from the top rope and absolutely obliterates Io Sky over the ring post, just throwing her face forward into it. That face plant, that smack was nasty.
I was going to say, just in general, I think Io was taking a lot of bumps that I was like, ooh, that's questionable. Like the, what was it, when she went for the moonsault off the top there and she spiked her with her feet, Rhea? Oh my God. Yeah. I was like, that hurt me watching it, like right in the chest, just complete wind knocked out of you. But yeah, you're right. The top of the ring post was rough to watch, but, I mean, she held in there, right? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
but it was really interesting to see though how much punishment she's willing to put herself through for this match.
No, absolutely, and Rhea's been throwing around that big boot crazily recently. Every time that she's hitting people, it just looks disgusting. I feel like they almost were in the back. They were like, "Listen, Io, you take the face plant and the ring post. I'll take the hair whip." That's Rhea being like, "I'll take that hair whip." And I've said it before on the show. I think that Bianca, when she reserves that hair whip for big moments, it makes it huge. And that crack when she hit Rhea with it was absolutely deadly as it possibly could be. KOD, you think that it's over, but little Io Sky is coming out of nowhere and she is getting the win here at WrestleMania over the moonsault pin. Incredible match. Honestly, if anybody is out there, if I find anything online that is less than 4.5 out of 5 for this match, I will riot. This is an incredible opener, and it shot this show absolutely out of a cannon to start. Randy C.
If anybody out there has a complaint like Eric B says, they're definitely dumb. This, and I will say it, and hate me if you want, this was the greatest opening match in WrestleMania history. The greatest. And I have every valid reason to prove it and argue it. I don't know. I enjoyed this immensely. They beat the living pulp out of each other. Io Sky wins, proving that she is a formidable champion. Proving, like Rhea looked like she was going to cry. Bianca was definitely defeated. Like, who can beat Io Sky after that performance? I do not know. But again, there's no in this corner today, by the way. Out of a banana Richter scale, this is a 5.5 banana match. This is the first time ever above the 5 banana scale. 5.5 opening match. Sorry, Eric B. I know you're going to say Bret Owen. Unfortunately, that's second. This is the best opening WrestleMania match ever. Eric
Well,
no,
yeah.
sorry.
Go ahead, Eric. Let's hear Mr. Reid's thoughts on the match.
I mean, I wouldn't say best ever opening match, but I would say that it was definitely one of the better matches of the night. That's for sure. An amazing way to open the show. I thought the pacing was great. Yeah, like every single sequence was smooth. There was no issues. Like I thought it was a great match in general, and I think I agree with Randy there. There's no way that you can't say that Io is not the champion that they deserve right now.
Yeah, listen, a lot of people complain about 3-ways, 4-ways, too many stipulation matches, too many people in the ring. This is the right move. Everybody thought from the start that this was going to be Bianca versus Rhea. That's what we thought, and that's where we thought we were going. There was no way Io was supposed to win it on Raw, and there was no way that she was supposed to win it. And what a better storyline than somebody who is completely looked down upon, look past beating the 2 strongest women in your division, right? These are the 2 strongest, most formidable opponents. Bianca has main evented WrestleMania twice. Same with Rhea. These women, Rhea ran the gauntlet already. We couldn't put it back on Rhea. It has to be Io or Bianca, and I love the decision that they made, even though my prediction was wrong. Hey, listen, I like being wrong. I like being surprised sometimes. Let's move forward to Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. This is the Sin City Street Fight. My only immediate disappointment is there's not nearly enough Las Vegas themed weapons in this match, Eric Reid.
That's your biggest disappointment? My biggest disappointment was Kerry King's guitar tone. It sounded like it was taking a poop in my ear. I was like, I love Kerry King so much and I love Slayer so much, and to see that just like broke my heart. I'm like, what is happening here? Like, what is going on?
Oh, geez. Randy said the same thing actually in a group chat. You didn't like the entrance either for Mr. Priest.
I liked the entrance. If it's just the problem was his guitar tone sounded like when you like get an amp that you bought on Marketplace and then you plug in and it just doesn't turn on properly. And
I was going to message you last night when I heard it, and I was like, I can't, because if you're going to say it sounds good, then I'm the idiot. So thank you for stating it, because I immediately when it started playing, I go, what the hell is this, more or less? But I won't give you exactly what I said. But I'm glad you said it as the musician in this trio here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was good to see that for sure. And again, WWE and people that I had here at my house who aren't fans are like, hey, that's the guitarist from Slayer, right? So like instantly, that's what ties it all together. It gives you that WrestleMania feel that entrance. Drew McIntyre got a Doom themed entrance, which was kind of cool. I don't know if that gear really fits his character, though, to be completely honest with you. But man, I love Drew. And this match, again, going from that opener to this match, you would usually say, I feel for these gentlemen. These guys are not going to be able to put up the same type of show. They're not going to have the same type of crowd pops. And this is actually the perfect follow-up to that three-way, because not only do you have two great competitors in the ring here, two former champions, two people who could very easily be in the title picture, but you give them the assistance of tables, ladders, and everything else, chairs, everything that they can possibly have, and the ability to fight all over the arena. Randy, what a incredible crutch to have as a performer.
Oh, 100%, 100%. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. Out of the 14 matches on the weekend, I got 3 matches wrong, and the first 2 at the beginning of the night were the 2 matches I did definitely get wrong. But I don't know. Like, both of these guys needed to win. That was in my head. Like, Drew, definitely. Damian Priest, just because we haven't seen him a lot on TV, needed it. But these guys put on a fight. Yes, the Scottish, I don't know, what are you, any warrior or anything? Standing on the rock at the very beginning. I thought he was going to take the helmet off and put it on. It was like very Triple H Terminator 2 type thing. I had no clue where this was going, but the match itself definitely was good.
Listen, I had no clue where it was going either, and I had no idea that where it was going was straight to the internet mid-match as Drew McIntyre becomes the Scottish selfie taker and incredible fashion, just so happy of the damage that he's done to Damian Priest outside of the ring. And that post was posted live. That was the best part about it. Absolute best part about it. Drew McIntyre is just incredible at what he does when it comes to
So do you know who that guy was that handed him the phone?
No.
That was his scrawny brother. That was his brother that handed him the phone. I was like, it said his brother. I go, the guy's like the size of this calf, not even like as wide. But, yeah, that was his brother.
Lots of stuff going on in this match, man. We have all the tables set up. People are just loving those tables being set up, dude. That is like the best part. Some errant chair throws happening during this match. We get some pretty nasty bumps, but let's face it, we've seen Drew McIntyre take a lot worse. Hell in the Cell with CM Punk coming to mind immediately as some of the worst bumps I've ever seen. But, you know, this is really, again, a really good match to follow up what we just saw. Drew McIntyre is going to get ourselves to the end here. When he set up that Future Shock DDT on the steel steps in the center of the ring, I was like, there's no way that this is going to happen. I thought Damian Priest was absolutely going to throw him over his back. Nope. Here's crazy-ass Drew McIntyre doing a DDT onto steel steps, taking that back bump, full on blasting himself to do so. My God. I also love how Damian Priest went for the old school, only to have it thwarted, be tossed through the tables. Reid, why are they leaning so heavily into Damian Priest, Undertaker recently? Like, I feel like it's only recently that they're like, this is his idol, his mentor, The Undertaker. Are they trying to give him that rub? Because Priest has really not had much since his title win, let alone his title reign.
I don't know if it's that so much, or it's more about like, it seems like a lot of WWE now is like kind of leaning towards that nostalgia sort of feeling. Like, I mean, you look at your main event was John Cena this in 2025. Like, I love John Cena. I loved the main event, but like, what do we do here? Like, you know, Randy Orton has a nice spot in between that. Like, I think everybody just yearns for a different time with WWE, and it's a shame because there's a lot of great stars that are coming up, like Damian Priest, you know what I mean, who is a younger talent who I think maybe doesn't get as much recognition because he's overshadowed with something like he's like The Undertaker, he's like this, and which, yeah, I guess he has like that dark vibe and a bigger build. But I don't know if he's like The Undertaker by any means. Like, you know what I mean? The comparison is strange. I will say that.
You make a good point about the whole nostalgia thing recently, and I don't even know so much that it's that they're doing the nostalgia thing. They know what we like. They know what we've liked in the past, and they're like, if we can get somebody to replicate this properly and get a pop out of it, hence, let's say, for example, Liv Morgan doing the Three Amigos, right?
Yeah.
She is obviously over, and she's getting the pop for that reason. I can't wait to talk about the Liv Morgan match. That's just going to be the best part. But yeah, anyways, back into the ring here. This is finished off. Claymore into the chair in the corner. This is the finisher. Priest is finished. Randy, how set back is Damian Priest now from this loss?
I really don't know. I guess we're going to have to find out in the months to come. Is there going to be a feud? Maybe this is the start. 1 out of 7. Let's Carmelo Hayes it. I have no clue. I almost guarantee you that this week there's going to be a Drew McIntyre Damian Priest rematch. Remember how they do it like every single year, like a WrestleMania rematch type match somewhere during the week? I think this may be the one, or the upcoming women's tag belt. But this was good. This match was what it was. Not as heavy as the CM Punk Drew McIntyre matches in weapons and brutality, I guess you can say. But it did definitely work. And like you said, it did set back maybe Damian just a tad, unless they go through this best of 3, best of 7, whatever it may be.
Reid, what's next for Drew McIntyre now, being the winner of this match?
Perhaps retire on a nice foggy Scottish moor. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think Randy's right. I think it sets up some sort of extra matches with Damian Priest, but he's kind of like, if not that, then I don't really see what his next feud would be. I can't really. I mean, everything else kind of wrapped up so nicely. The rest of the show, like setting up at least a few other feuds. You'd have to think that it's probably going to be maybe not another street fight, but maybe something for Hell in a Cell. I mean, that's kind of later in the year too, but some sort of bigger match where it's going to be, no DQ again, I would think.
Yeah, no, that's those are all very good points, and again, another solid match. Probably not as hot as the start, but definitely still very hot as we're in 2 matches here, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be a good night, because the next match is for the Intercontinental title. It is a 4-way dance and a 4-way treat, may I add. Braun Breaker, the champion, the unstoppable force that he is, versus Finn Balor, versus Dominic Mysterio and Penta. Penta already making his way to WrestleMania, his first WrestleMania. And I have to say, a lot of people probably were leaning on him, not to be the favorite, but probably their de facto. They really want to see this happen for Penta. Me, personally, I thought it was just a little bit too quick. A little bit too quick. But to see Penta and Rey Fenix make their way to WrestleMania already, joining the company from the debut to Netflix to WrestleMania, Randy, that's pretty wild.
Unbelievable, eh? Rey Fenix getting squished in night 1, and then Penta coming in last night. When they came in, the crowd reaction and everything else, it shouldn't be a surprise. No surprise, really, right? Penta, out of the 2, though, I would definitely say Penta getting a better fan reaction to the most part since the beginning. It's just the look, you know what I mean? I think it is. It's 100% the way you look. Nothing against the way Phoenix does or looks or anything else like that, but on the pecking order, Penta definitely first one. He was excited. You can tell he was excited, and it was good to see him. But yeah, nobody was more excited than us here. Draw, and the Dark Side of the Elite, and seeing Dominic Mysterio. Was there anybody else in this match? I have no clue.
No, seriously. Seeing Dominic Mysterio come out in the mask, Braun Breaker coming out, just looking like an absolute killer. Finn Balor just being chiseled from absolute stone, him and his 12 abs. Yeah, it was just incredible setup for this match. Penta, to your point, Randy, as far as the way that he is presented, I think that his music and his pyro is much better than Ray's. Ray Phoenix, his brothers. I think that Ray Phoenix's music is kind of lacking in comparison to Penta's. So he kind of seems like an afterthought at the moment, but I don't mean that in like a bad way. Anyways, IC title 4-way dance. Ray is completely Ray Jr. Dom is completely masked up here and he is ready to go. Man, again, we said like there's too many 4-ways, there's too many 3-ways, there's too many things, but it didn't feel like there was any issues with booking these matches. The cohesiveness of these 4 competitors, the shift and the pacing from fight to fight that was happening in between the match itself, between them all separately, was great. Braun Breaker is just going to use his strength throughout the match. Finn Balor is tried, tested, and true. He's in this spot for a reason. Unfortunately, it's not going to be to win, and we kind of knew that heading into it as well. Dominic Mysterio, everyone's favorite man to hate. I think for a long time of this match, everybody forgot that we're supposed to hate Dom and he's supposed to be a heel. Randy, Dom's pops in this match were larger than anyone else. Is that a fair statement?
Oh, very fair, very fair. And should they be? Like, everybody loves Dom. He's a little dirty. But yeah, no, definitely should be, because he's the most popular person. Biggest, I guess, I don't know how you could, who can you compare him to for being a heel, but not being a heel? And he's not a tweener, but he's definitely like, I don't know. But yeah, everybody loves Dom.
It's more popular than MJF, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, you know, he's more popular than MJF, and MJF for a while was like that guy that was like, nobody can be a better heel than this. Guess what? It's Dominic Mysterio, and we love him for it. And I was explaining that to my family as well. This is supposed to be like a bad guy, technically.
I love. They're like, he looks so cool, though. What's wrong? Look at that mustache. He's so cool.
It's true. They're like, oh, that mask is amazing. His mustache, his whole look is like Eddie Guerrero #2, right? Like, no, he's incredible. I love how much the crowd pops every time that 619 is potentially teased. Finn Balor says, no, 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 and grabs his legs. That was like the best part. I had like multiple people message me at that point and be like, oh, Dom messed up. And I was like, I don't think so. I think not, my friend. But we had so many high spots in this match. Super Frankensteiners, 619s, everything being teased up into it. The stomps itself, Canadian destroyers, or Mexican destroyers, as they would like to call it now. Poor Carlito can't catch a break. He is just doing the absolute best that he can to help out his 2 buddies in this match, really. And Braun Breaker just sees him and instantly keys in like, yep. Super speared through the announce table. The pop is huge. McAfee going absolutely crazy as the table destroys in front of him was one of the highlights of the night for me. And eventually this leads towards the end of the match. Balor is there to cut off Braun Breaker, coup de grace, but out of nowhere, here comes Dom, hits the frog splash pin, like directly on top of Finn Balor, right? Like the way that they positioned these 3 in the ring for the pin was so good. Randy, I can see this storyline really heating up tonight on Raw. What do you think, brother?
Oh, 100%. The Judgment Day, the implosion. We'll find out a little more, but bringing more gold into the Judgment Day where Finn couldn't do it. Finn is going to be pissed. Who is the leader of the Judgment Day now? Definitely, to me, it has to be Dom. But what is Finn going to do? Is Finn going to be on an island by himself? Will Carlito's apple ever have skin on it again? The questions that we can portray to everybody out there. That is it. But yeah, can't wait for tonight, WWE Raw, and the implosion of the Judgment Day. What about you, Eric Reid? What did you think?
I mean, I thought it was a great match. I thought having Dom go over and win the belt's perfect. The way it ended, even better. Him turning on Finn, great. Just sets up for a feud between those two now. There is one thing I did notice, and that was kind of weird, is the fact that finish is pretty much almost identical to the women's match at the very beginning of the card, which I was like, that's crazy they're doing the same finish, but I mean, I thought it was still good. I like the sequence in it, the coup de grace with the 2 count and then break it up with the frog splash and for the 3 for Dom. Thought it was perfect. It kind of tied together the whole story. And also Carlito, it doesn't matter how many apples he eats, but to keep the doctor away, he still gets speared by Braun Breaker every single time. He'll be seeing Braun Breaker in his dreams now, or his nightmares, however you want to.
He's now Johnny Appleseed. Eh? He's not Carlito anymore. He's Johnny Appleseed with all the apples exploding everywhere and planting across this wonderful land of USA and Canada. But,
oh my God. His spine must be just warped. Just absolutely warped from these past couple weeks.
Just wonderful, though. Honestly, the guy comes back to the WWE. He gets a contract. They're like, "Hey, we want you to wrestle," and he's like, "Sure, I'll wrestle, no problem." Doesn't have to wrestle ever. Just has to eat a super spear. I think that it's a pretty decent trade, my friends. And unlimited apples. All the apples he can eat. All the apples he can spit out. But yeah, what a great match. Dom Mysterio getting his first major solo title in WWE. Yes, North American title. I get it. But this is his first major one. And as far as people who deserve that IC title, who fit into that role as future stars, Dominic Mysterio has always been one of them. As soon as he turned heel, we all saw what we had with Dominic Mysterio. When he was that pudgy son of Rey, he was really no character development at all. The character development that this guy has is incredible. Even coming out to the ring, looking at the camera and saying, "Greatest Mysterio of all time." This is so good. You know, the things that he does are incredible. Moving forward, talking about other people who are incredible, who's had their WrestleMania moments, who've really been a big part of our heart over the last couple of decades. It's Randy Orton, and all the talk on the internet, my friends, was who is this going to be? Who is the guy that's going to take the place of Kevin Owens? WWE also in a little bit of a tight spot here with being forced into this position. Not wanting to rush certain people back, who a lot of people have rumored. Reid, who was your guy in this spot? Who did you think this was going to be?
To be honest, it was kind of up in the air for me. I'm really happy with the choice they made, but I won't spoil it just yet. But I honestly, everything was up in the air. I didn't really see an opponent kind of picked out ahead of time. I didn't really. I was going to be excited no matter what. I think was what I was thinking. You know,
Randy, who was your guy?
Oh, definitely the prediction show. I said Nick Aldis and or Solo because he definitely was not part of the card. Definitely, I did not think this direction, and I don't think anybody would. Like, you know what I mean? If anybody says that they did, they're lying, because there is no way that anybody could pick this. But being satisfied on their direction, 100%. 100%. When we talk about this match, though, and afterwards, I'll explain a little afterwards. But, yeah, good choice.
Yeah, definitely a good choice. The WWE ends up going with Joe Hendry here. I thought that it was going to be Karrion Kross. They made a very cryptic post saying time is ticking with an emoji of a clock. Karrion Kross is from Las Vegas. I thought they have to involve this guy in the show somehow, which eventually they do, but it just didn't happen here. So Joe Hendry comes out. I must say, too, I had one person tell me they thought it was going to be this, and it was the child of somebody who predicted it. So I think all adults probably wouldn't have predicted it, but Joe Hendry's absolute popularity, he It was a child he predicted. It will be that guy. TNA World Champion in the ring for a WrestleMania match with the title. Randy, WWE also purchasing AAA over the weekend here. That announcement was made. The partnerships are vast and growing. 5 years ago, I'm not even going to say 10 years ago, 5 years ago, do you think you would ever see a TNA championship in the ring? WrestleMania.
I don't think Friday they thought they would see a TNA championship belt in the ring. But unfortunately, certain things happen. And again, it was good to see. Like I said, when after we talked about this match, there's opinions on it. When you have the TNA heavyweight champion in the ring against Randy Orton, like, it does something. But go ahead, we'll go forward and then I'll say it at the end.
It does something absolutely as far as the rub goes for that company, the push goes for that company. But with all that being said, we knew absolutely there was no way that WWE would give a loss at WrestleMania from Randy Orton to a TNA World Champion. Joe Hendry, the crowd is really into him. Allegiant Stadium gets to do the whole song. What an epic moment. Probably the most viral thing that's happened in wrestling this year is how over his music alone has been, let alone him in wrestling. So to have that at WrestleMania with 60,000 fans, guys, first of all, when they said it was like 64,000 fans, I was like, that looks way more than 64,000. Like way more. That was the first thought I had too. But to do that all together, cohesive, was fun. To get the pose, to get some of his stuff in, but nothing really, because Randy is going to take the win here. And I love the Joe Hendry surprise pose, followed by RKO out of nowhere, off screen for us, but you could see it all if you were there watching it in the ring. The win goes here to Randy. And just for good measure, a little handshake followed by one more RKO for good measure to Joe Hendry to show that, yes, the TNA World Championship can be on WWE programming, but there's no way we're giving you a win. Reid, fun match, right? Just a fun match and a fun little showing.
Of course. I mean, Joe Hendry, you can't understate how over this guy is, right? Like, and how viral he is. I love him specifically. He's from Edinburgh, my parents' hometown. So, I got a soft spot for him already. He's my local hero. Yeah, like a lot of just funny, little, almost, I wouldn't want to say indie-esque spots, but like kind of like, you know what I mean? Like Randy doing the turnaround and they do the zoom in on him and he does his pose. Like, there was some good stuff in this match. And I think, honestly, I think it was probably the best choice they had for that. A nice little, I wouldn't say, bathroom match, but it was, a nice little to break up the monotony of everything being serious. Have a little fun with it. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Randy, there were some teases that this could be like, maybe this is the last WrestleMania for Randy Orton. There's no way that's possible, right?
No, not at all. Definitely. There's a little more gas in the tank for him, but yeah, Eric, that's like Eric Reid said, the Randy Orton doing the Joe Hendry turnaround was absolutely funny. I couldn't stop laughing. And the Joe Henry doing the turnaround and getting the RKO out of nowhere for the finish. Like the match was set up perfectly, but very comedic or very jokish. But this is the only thing. As much as I love Joe Hendry being in that place, he's a TNA heavyweight champion. I don't know what the cage match says on how long that match was, but I guarantee you it wasn't over 4 minutes. And I think there was only one move, or 3 minutes really. Wow. But I guarantee there was only like one really side of offense that Joe Hendry did. So how does that hurt? Like, don't get me wrong. The pro and the con to it is TNA, is at WrestleMania. They're getting all this media, this and that. But in turn, he's a champ, and you got beaten 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Well, I mean, also, we can also, like, we can argue that the development of TNA, so TNA is kind of hand in hand with the development that we see with NXT. So their stars are more in a developmental role than they are actually in that next level role. WrestleMania is supposed to be the mecca. It's supposed to be the place where everybody, the top tier talent is. So to say that he could even hang in the ring with Randy for more than 1 minute could say something strong about the championship for TNA. I'm not saying that
Joe Henry's been around for 18 years at least.
I'm more than aware of that. I'm more than aware of how
AJ
long
Styles took 20 years to get to WWE. What are you saying? Please tell me. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You're absolutely
Anyways, I know what you're
right.
saying, but AJ Styles, listen, let's not compare AJ Styles to Joe Hendry.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Right? Like we're talking about a first ballot Hall of Famer. Joe Hendry over, good, yes, but there's no AJ Styles. And that's a perfect lead into the next match, which is Logan Paul versus AJ Styles in listen, our first non-gimmick match of the night for no title. That's the best way that I can put it. This is our first match of the night, which is just like our standard match or standard WrestleMania build. For what they've had in the short amount of time that they've had to build this feud between these two, it's delivered on the shows. Logan Paul has looked strong every single time, really, leading into WrestleMania, which kind of surprises me where we go here on the finish as well. But the match itself, I gotta say, as far as Logan Paul matches go, as far as his spectacles, as far as his highlight reels go, I don't think this is one of his highlight reel matches because it doesn't have that massive catch him in midair moment, right? Reid, do you feel the same way here? Were you a little underwhelmed by this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a little different than what I've seen from Logan in the past, for sure. I don't really know, but there was some good spots, and it's still like the hard Irish whips on the outside, right? From both of those guys, them just pretty much destroying every barrier they could. A lot of like the stolen finish move. I guess that's kind of his thing recently, but like I feel like I'm playing WWE 2K14 when I see that. He had that lion salt that was pretty cool. That was, but again, that's something I've seen him do before too, right? Like I don't know. I think it was a little underwhelming on his part. AJ Styles looked great though. I thought, but he always kind of does, so it's hard to really miss what he's doing out there. But yeah, it's more just for me about the finish of this match. It was a very strange finish, I thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, there's a lot of good spots here in this match still. There's a lot of good moves, high-level moves. I love the overbomb that Logan Paul throws in, that power bomb into the face plant. That's completely, like, unseen. You really rarely see these kind of things. But Lion Salt, there was a Regal roll at one point in the match as well. So he was stealing a lot of people's things, included but not limited to Hulk Hogan's poses, boot, and a variation of the split leg drop. Randy, oh man, I loved when he was doing that. But when he hit that splits leg drop, I was like, no, Logan, no.
No, Logan, no, unbelievable. But what do you mean? There was some catch in midair moments, like him catching the drone in the intro. That was the only
drone,
one. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Okay,
that was awesome because it took me, honestly, when I'm talking about things that it took me a while to cue into, that was a drone once he finally let go of it and it started flying off.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only catch in midair moment. I was just trying to be smart there. But
good point. But
yeah, you're right. Out of the scale of the list before, anyways, what you're saying of Logan Paul moves and matches, so on and so forth, this definitely has to be probably the lowest level, the lowest tier on the Logan Paul scale for his move. But the split-legged, different, eh?
Yeah, it was a little too different in my opinion, if you ask me. It's stolen finishers. We get a pretty poor looking Styles clash here from Logan Paul, followed by a real Styles clash that doesn't finish the match, which is insane, absolute insanity. 2 years ago, that would not have ever been a possibility. That is a finisher all the way. I mentioned it before that Karrion Kross is from Sin City. He's been kind of in this storyline, and guess what? There's Karrion Kross As soon as he comes on the screen, the guy looks like $1 million. I gotta say that. Like, he looks like $1 million. There should be something we can do with this guy, and I think we're gonna see a lot more of that tonight. But Cross tries to give the knuckles. He tries to play devil's advocate, brass knuckles to AJ Styles, but he ain't having it. Throws it away. Dex carrying Cross. Leaves Logan Paul there in the ring now with a little bit of an advantage. He decks him with that right hand and hits that nasty pulverizer. One of the nicest finishes in the WWE at the moment. But these guys had almost 20 minutes to work this match. They almost had 20 full minutes to work this match. Great showing from AJ, even though he lost. The guy obviously deserves to be there. Logan Paul deserves to be there. There's a reason why the guy is only on PLEs. That's where he deserves to be. Reid, what did you think overall, besides the finish of the match? What did you think of it all?
I mean, I thought it was okay. I didn't really have an issue with it. I can't help think that, like, I know we said Dom's probably the perfect heel, but I think Logan Paul might be the perfect heel. Mm-hmm. And this is like just a pretty, right, cut to the chase kind of match. It's a face and a baby, or a baby face and a heel. You know what I mean? It's a face and a baby. Sorry. I think it was really cool. You had a lot of, just general high spots. Maybe just too vanilla for Logan Paul. I think he maybe needs something on a bigger stage. You know what I mean?
Randy, is Logan so let's say Dominic Mysterio is the most loved heel. Is Logan Paul the most hated heel in professional wrestling?
Hey, you with the one with the face on the babies. Yes, most definitely. I will say that he's probably the most hated heel out there, and which he should be, because not in just wrestling and life in general, I think he's hated, and nor should he be liked. He screwed me in my crypto. But other than that, that's another story. That's another story. But in turn, I don't know. This is how many WrestleManias now he's been at? 2 or 3?
This is his 3rd.
Yeah, and he's undefeated, right?
Yeah.
He's going for a Taker streak here? Are we talking Taker heels? No, but in all seriousness, this was probably my least favorite match of the night. And
whoa.
I know I didn't enjoy it as much until.
You sure? You know where we're going next, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's me saying it. I'm actually saying it. And there's a reason, trust me. There's a reason why it's not. Yeah. No, not that. But
okay. All right. Well, yes, listen, out of the matches that were there tonight, this as actual matches, because the Randy and Joe Hendry exhibition really was more of an exhibition. It's an open challenge. It's an exhibition. It was done in 3 minutes. We got to get this done. We got to move on. We got to give a break before we get to our mains, or, one more before the main. And this is the match that comes next. It is Moira Valkyria and a mystery opponent against Raquel Rodriguez and little lovely Liv Morgan, Rob Arbick's favorite wrestler, and everyone's favorite last night. Absolutely. There was no reason for Liv Morgan to come to the ring looking that good, that ridiculous. It was crazy. I was watching it with my brother, and he referred to it as, this is pretty much porno. It was close. It was Liv Morgan. It was Liv Morgan in Sin City, folks, and we got Liv Morgan as much as we possibly could. But her and Raquel look great in their red gear. And then we got to talk about some more gear. Randy's favorite gear, his favorite gimmick, the owl gimmick. Here comes Moira Valkyria just hooting at the crowd. And the poor girl, they can give her as much of those Temu eagle wings as they want. The poor girl, every single time that she tries to get the crowd to hoot along with her, they miss the first 2 or 3 hoots. Randy, are they in cahoots?
I don't think they are in cahoots with the hoots, but definitely Lyra needs Matt Grant to be wear those wings in the background. Maybe she'll get more people hooting and cahooting with her. But that was terrible. But first of all, Lady in red is dancing with me. That's all I kept singing during it, but that's a terrible song. I sang it better. But yeah, Coots, Owl Wings, don't like it.
The wings were absolutely ridiculous. I've said this before. They're leaning way too much into this. It makes no sense. It's not over. No kids are going to be buying owl wings. Like, no little girls are out there being like, I need those owl wings, mommy and dad. It's not going to get over as merch. And we're just leaning into this whole she's a bird thing way too much. She has feathers falling off of her every single time that she does a move in this match. There's feathers everywhere. It's honestly like it's always in Sunny in Philadelphia, and she's a bird woman. She is D from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and the Birds of War meme is going around like crazy right now, as it should, because this was just not it. And the poor girl, she looked really good in this match. Introduction, silly, absolutely silly. Anyways, she gets to the ring, and the secret is out. Now, Bayley was taken out originally it was put out there online that she was potentially injured and then written off, or just written off. This was actually in storyline for a very long time. This was worked for a long time. Everybody respects Bayley immensely in the back, and she is happy with her role in the company. Here comes Becky Lynch for a WrestleMania return. Randy, this is really the only way that you could save this match, because as we were leading into her, we were like, why does this deserve to be there? And this is the only reason why it could be there.
Becky Lynch, the liar, going this week saying she doesn't know when she'll be back in wrestling. The fibs that she tells me on a consistent basis with her child. Her child is right there. I would have rather Bayley. Seth Rollins ain't the biggest heel in that family, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, Becky Lynch is back. Whoopi, the man.
Becky is back. No discussion yet if she's there in a full-time role or what we have. And as soon as you see Becky be announced, and you know where this match is going to head.
Lyra and Becky.
Becky. You know what? I am so influenced by the birds at this point that it is going to be Lyra and Becky, okay? Lyra and Becky are going to take this match home. We're just going to have to get there, folks. So stick with us, because we had to watch it. So you have to watch it too. No, again, Liv is just incredible in this match. She looks great. I pointed out earlier when she does the three amigos for the crowd and she does the shimmy. Everyone loves the shimmy. Again, Liv Morgan is one of those heels that we love to hate, whereas Charlotte Flair is one of those heels that we just hate and we want to go away. Liv Morgan, we want to stay on our screen. And that's not even to reference of her gear. It's what she does in the ring. At 5 points of the match last night, I had to turn to the people in my house who were laughing, because anytime that the Netflix camera guys were doing incredible camera work, as they do, I had to point to being like, but she's really good. I promise. She's really good. So, like Randy said, lady in red, all in our heads. But we have, this version of Shawn Michaels and Big Daddy Diesel, Liv and Raquel. They've been great champions. We knew that they were going to lose this title. On our prediction show, me and Randy did with Sam and Tez from the TDS Wrestling Show. Go check them out as well on YouTube. They pointed out a great point about what's been going on in NXT with the tag team champion buildup and what's going to happen. I think it's on SmackDown on Friday night, Randy, right? Is it going to be a title match?
I believe so. Or it's Tuesday. It's either this Tuesday or SmackDown. One or the other. I apologize.
Yeah, it's either NXT or SmackDown, but the NXT girls are being called up, and we're going to see new people with these tag belts. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, they just couldn't hold on to these belts forever. And Lyra, aka Bird Lady, and Becky Lynch herself have to come with the win here. A really, look, we have an Oblivion that hits, and then an Oblivion that misses, and then Becky hits one manhandle slam, and this match is over. It's really anticlimactic finish for the title reign of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. but it had to happen, and we get a feel-good moment with Becky Lynch's return. Reid, are you excited about Becky's return? Like, how much does this shake up the women's division?
I mean, it's the only note I have for this match, and it's surprise B words. It's the man. That's like, I mean, but then again, I'm kind of biased. I mean, she's Irish. I love her, you know what I mean? But I thought for sure she was packing it in for good. But like Randy said, she lied to all of us, and we all fell for it. No, I don't know. I'm excited to see her back. I think she's good, but I mean, I guess as a tag champ, sure, whatever. Get her in the picture, but is she going to win the title again? You know what I mean? Like, what do they do with her now? I guess is really the real question.
Absolutely.
Hopefully they got something planned out here. And also, I do have a weird question. Isn't a Valkyrie like some sort of like dragon or something like that? Why is it an owl? Sorry, going back to the bird talk. I know it's just becoming bird talk at this point.
It is a woman god of Zeus that flies on a Pegasus horse. But
yeah, still didn't hear owl in there. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with owl or bird or anything aviary at all at that point. We are completely talking about winged mammals.
But in turn, I honestly don't think Lyra and Becky are going to hold the titles very long. Either Raquel or Liv are going to get it, or maybe Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, like I said, may be the ones that take it over, which would be good. Which would be good. So you can't hold two titles. She can't hold two titles. We don't even want to see her with one, never mind two. But no offense. And I used to be the greatest supporter of her as well. Just this gimmick is just definitely not doing it. But yes, Cora Jade and Roxanne this week, definitely going to hold the titles.
Randy, one more question before we move on from this match. Everybody was really upset that Chelsea Green was keeping off the WrestleMania card, not even as a host. They tried to promote her potentially as a host, and that didn't work out. After Becky's return, would you still say that Lyra shouldn't have been there and Chelsea should have?
100%. 100%. Everybody wanted to see Chelsea, and it was the talk of the weekend. From what I'm hearing, and everything on the internet, like, where's Chelsea Green? And guess what? If Becky was going to be there, that's fine. Chelsea should be there too. Add something else. He had a 3-minute Joe Henry Randy Orton match. Don't tell me that you can't give another 5 minutes for Chelsea Green. The people wanted her. She was there. Put her in there. That's the reason why we have WrestleMania.
Yeah, especially on night one, we had, I think, about almost 2 hours of wait time in between matches. So we definitely could have done something with Chelsea Green there. She deserved to be at WrestleMania. She's definitely more over than Lyra. And I don't know if people really care that much about the Becky return. I don't think if it really makes a big difference. I don't think it's a main card, a main event kind of thing. She's been gone for a while. She's going to have to prove herself to be up at that level again, just like she had to prove herself to become the man, to have that one spot, that Nia Jax incident that created that moment. And next, what we're going to talk about is an incident that created an amazing moment, and that is Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hitting. Everybody knew that he was in Las Vegas. We were excited. As soon as the glass breaks, we know that there's some Stone Cold Steve Austin going on, but we do not know that he's already crashed his ATV 3 times trying to get on stage. 3 times. So, shame on them. Anyways, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Las Vegas, WrestleMania. What do we expect? The man's got a few Steve Weisers in him. It just has to happen. But here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin. Massive pop. Crowds going wild. ATV going around the ring. 1 lap. 2 lap. Lap number 3. It's so funny because I can guarantee you that all of us were at home like, what if he crashes?
but what would happen?
But what would happen? So then Stone Cold crashes into the barricade, and the most delayed bump reaction you'll ever have. About 5 seconds after he crashes, the lady that's standing behind where he crashes throws herself back across her chair. As the whole thing is happening in the ring, you can actually see Nick Khan talking with the woman, who also, when it happened, you could see Stone Cold apologize numerous times, and she was just ready. I'm telling you, Randy, that lady was ready for an insurance claim at that very moment. What do you think, brother?
Free WrestleMania tickets for life. For life. All access to the WWE Universe store. She got the 24 karat gold WWE title belt, all signed by every participant that are even passed away that's ever been partaken in WrestleMania. This just in, Stone Cold Steve Austin's license. State of Nevada has taken his license away for drinking and driving. So there is no more recreational vehicles on Stone Cold Steve Austin's ranch allowed to be. No, he's really pissed. The cats are pissed. Who's going to be? Everybody's pissed. But that was funny shit, eh? Even him going down the ramp, they're like saying go this way, and he goes like right into a bear, like not up the ramp. He goes down to the ramp to the dead end. It was the funniest thing. And then yes, the lady with the delayed reaction, Nick Khan instantly there, like a tow truck. You know what I mean? Like a tow truck driver.
He jumped her. It was hilarious. As soon as I saw it happen, I'm like, "Oh, that's Nick Khan!" Like instantly. So I explained that to my brother who that was as well. But it was just seeing that woman do that bump was just the best part of that whole incident for me. Stone Cold literally just comes into the ring to tell us how many people there, slams some Steve Weisers, doesn't drive off. At that point, they're like, no more. And also,
which he should.
You know what's really funny is my brother was like, "Oh, he's not going to drive it off," and I was like, "We just watched him chug 8 tall cans."
Yeah. In a segment I like to call beer cocky. I will say I think I read the funniest thing I've ever seen online, which was I follow like this kayfabe group or whatever. Like every post is about like supposed to be keeping kayfabe, and and like somebody said on that post that they're setting up for payback, and it's going to be her versus Steve Austin. Hell in a Cell for payback. Let's go.
Listen, I'm ready for it. I am there for it. I think half of the IWC is at this point too. Everyone's all over this woman, but it's actually really funny. You see people being like the way I am, and then you see a lot of people being like, "Oh my God, I hope she's okay."
Yeah,
she didn't get hit. And then somebody wrote something about PTSD.
I mean, I've been watching it. Yeah, maybe I could get into this. Like watching that, like totally scared me in every single way. So
yeah. All right. Anyway, so that was that, and Stone Cold also made the point that I made, which it seems like there's a lot more than 64,000 people there. Like usually we're higher on the numbers, like inflating numbers. I feel like we underestimated the numbers this time, especially with the people on stage and everything else like that. Anyways, that's just my thoughts. But we are here, folks. Finally, we are at the main event of the evening, the one that Eric Reid's been looking forward to the most. It's John Cena for the SmackDown World Title, the Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes, the son of Dusty Rhodes, and a big lover of dirt bikes.
Yeah, what was that about? I was like, why is there motocross going on right now? Did I miss something?
So I don't know about if he is or if he isn't, but he's got motocross entrance. He's got like flames all over his boots, which is a very motocross-esque design. And then his skull helmet as well that popped up like Iron Man was also very motocross-like as he came out. John Cena's entrance as well, for all of the epic WrestleMania entrances that we got. For the most epic entrances that we got at WrestleMania the night before, included Roman Reigns' entire display of his entire bloodline as he was coming to the ring. John Cena was just black and white. A black screen with white John Cena font. It looks like this was done quickly, like not even in Photoshop. This is MS Paint and just put up on the screen and ready to go. Randy, I absolutely loved it.
Yes, this was absolutely brilliant. This is a big F to all the fans out there, his followers, everything else like that. He is John F. Cena. He does not need this. He is the main event. He is that. So yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Brilliant. I think it was the best intro of the whole weekend.
Very good for his current character. As far as he's given enough, you don't need anything else. That's it. People were also saying he's going to have new entrance music. I thought the same thing. Why would he? Like, there's no need for that. Remove the John Cena sucks chants from people, and you're taking something away from the product. So they were not going to do that. The match itself, honestly, is very long and plotting. There is a lot of slow burn in this match, as we would come to expect with a almost 50-year-old John Cena. It just has to happen. Here in the main event, we've all been looking forward to this one, but the thing that people are looking forward to the most, I think, is John Cena beating the streak. At one point, I felt like the fans might be divided 50-50, but at another point, I thought to myself that we were very close to a WrestleMania 18-esque double turn. Reid, why didn't that happen?
I mean, I don't know. I just always assumed that he was going to beat the record. There's no way they were going to let Flair hold that record anymore. You just had to think that was going to happen. I am very surprised that The Rock didn't come out and help him, and that they only sent out his lackey Travis Scott, and I stand by that statement. But I don't know. I mean, it was just a typical John Cena match, I think, at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? How many finishers can we fit into one finish? You know what I mean? Pretty much.
Yeah, Randy, I mean, John Cena was throwing out everything that he possibly could. Attitude adjustment after an attitude adjustment, avalanche attitude adjustment. We saw the spot where he tried to pull Cody back 3 times for an STF, couldn't get him to tap. Did we book Cody too weak in this match?
Yeah, it's possible. That is a very, very good question. But no, it's an attitude adjustment too. Like you said, we've seen so many of them. We've seen it from the canvas. We've seen it from the first turnbuckle, second turnbuckle, avalanche attitude adjustment, ankle lock, STFU, 5 moves of doom done 55 times 550 times in the match times 1 match. Yeah, 2 week. He took 5,500 and some odd attitude adjustments. I think Cody's a lot stronger than we think. No, yeah, it was terrible. My point about him being a little too weak, or booked maybe a little too weak, is that we are talking about John Cena being in control of 75% of this match, right? And usually when you see somebody in control of the match for that long, the other person is put there to be the de facto David out of the Goliath and come back and take the W here. But everybody had the feeling going into this match, there's no way that they're going to let Ric Flair hold on to this record. And once it's beaten by John Cena, there's no way that anybody else will ever beat it in the modern era. It's just not going to happen. And this is what people really wanted. It's just how we got there, though. So I think 9 out of 10 people thought that John Cena was going to win this match. It just how we got there. Was it going to be as intriguing or interesting as it possibly could have been? And on night 1, the main event had all of that intrigue, had all of that interest to get to that finish. But it was also more of a surprise. I get what you're saying, and even think of it when we talked prior to recording, and you explaining it there. John Cena did his homework, controlling 75% of the match. I'm not saying Cody Rhodes didn't, but every single time that Cody were to do something, John Cena was there with a response and or block and or his reaction to Cody's action. So maybe it was just trying to show how smart actually John Cena was. There was no time in that match that he looked worried. There was no time in that match that he was surprised that Cody Rhodes kicked out. He just kept going and going and going, which matches don't have these days. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody's always saying, when you kick out, oh my God, I can't believe he or she did that. Like, you know what I mean? No, John Cena, what did he do? He just grabbed them, did it again. Like, you know what I mean? Kept over and over. So actually, you know what? I think it's brilliant. I'm going to give it a little one banana more ranking for that reason. I agreed.
how many 6.5 bananas out of 7? Is that what it is?
That's too many bananas, bro. That's way too many bananas.
Well, it would have been 7, but it wasn't in the Tokyo Dome. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I thought for sure we were going to see Rock come out. That's the only part that's really still like tripping me up. I thought for sure we were going to see Rock come out. I know me and Randy were talking about earlier predictions of maybe even Jey Uso coming out and turning heel.
Yeah.
That was definitely on my radar. I thought for sure of that. But I agree with Randy. Like, he didn't let up at all the entire time. He had a mission. He was going to win this match, right? I think we all kind of thought the same thing. He unfortunately got some help from everybody's favorite hardcore champion, Travis Scott. Why is he wearing the hardcore championship belt? I don't know. Yeah, and like the slowest entrance I've ever seen, by the way, from Travis Scott. I don't know what that was about. Sorry, I was like in and out on this match because the Leaf game was going on at the same time. So I had 4 screens open at the same time watching.
Yeah, in fairness too, to your point said about the long entrance, I think that there was numerous parts of his entrance where he paused, where we thought The Rock's music was going to hit, and then he was going to come out with The Rock. We talked about this in the prediction show as well. The Rock always did the whole 3, 2, 1 finger sign, right? Who's the one? What is the one? Did that ever happen? Not really. We got the 2 other moments, and then now we have something that's left over. And at the start of WrestleMania, night 1, the video package introduction that was done by Triple H, he did mention, you guys think you know the entire story, but we haven't shown everything yet. You don't know anything yet. So I think that there's still more to this. I think The Rock is going to be back. He was in Hawaii. Don't ask me why. I'm not sure why he was there instead of WrestleMania. I don't know. But I feel like there's more to this storyline. There's more to this storyline that involves The Rock here, and it's not finished. It's definitely not finished. But anyways, John Cena, like we said, he did every single one of his moves. He even tried to go for some top rope famouser thing that was countered into a high stack power bomb, and he couldn't get Cody finished. So eventually he had to use Travis Scott's distraction. Travis gets his receipt, sort of, getting a very safe crossroads hit on him in comparison to having his eardrum busted. But that was apparently Travis Scott's receipt, as they called it. During that time, John Cena takes out the turnbuckle pad. Cody eats 2 turnbuckle shots with no color, then gets taken to Dick Kick City, and then gets hit in the head with a title, and still no color, still no blood. Very undecisive victory, very anticlimactic victory of 1, 2, 3. You can even hear it in the crowd. People were shocked this was the finish. John Cena has his 17th historic world championship reign, as we knew he would. But the show just really fades to black with John Cena and Travis Scott standing in the ring and Cody crawling into the back.
I get those goosebumps every time, buddy.
Michael Cole with one of the worst calls of the night, but yeah, it definitely made me and Reid laugh. That's for sure.
I do like the shot of George Kittle almost spilling his wizard staff of empty beer cups in complete disarray. Like, this guy is having the best time of his life right now.
Randy, we all knew it was going to happen. Did you expect we were going to get there this way?
Anticlimactic. A good dick twisting again, or dick twister finisher ending on 2 nights of WrestleMania. Twist on the dick, whatever. But yeah. Yeah, anticlimactic. That's it. You said it perfectly at the beginning of the show, and that's the perfect way to end this show, I guess. And the aspect of it, yeah, anticlimactic is definitely the word. But yes, John Cena, you're 17-time champion. I like the pictures of him walking out with the belt just around, like the towel he puts behind his head. He had the belt around his head. He knew it was going to happen all along. Everybody knew that this was going to happen. This John Cena, I like. I wish he'd done it a long time ago because I would have definitely been more interested in him. I get it. It's for the kids, but this John Cena is definitely for me, the adult, and I love it.
I think that WWE found a perfect hack here with this heel turn, which is they know because this is the last time they're still going to sell all of the merch. I think that's the idea here, Randy, is if they did this 10 years ago, think about all the billions of dollars they would have lost from all of those kids. That kid in Brussels wouldn't have been a John Cena fan. And he wouldn't have had to go through that either. You know, he wouldn't have to be tormented by John Cena on camera.
You're right.
But Reid, we've got a lot of banana ratings from Randy. What do you give night 2 of WrestleMania as far as your Reid rating system?
Oh, I'd never even really thought about what my rating system would be. I'd give it 4 Travis Scotts out of 5, 4 Goosebumps out of 5.
Definitely good. Yeah. No, I'd say that's a pretty fair number. Honestly, the main event probably took it away from it being a perfect like 4.5 out of 5 for me. It's hard to say anything is absolutely perfect. It couldn't be 5 because of the whole Randy Orton thing. It just couldn't be. But if that match was Randy Orton and KO, it could have very easily been. It could have very, very easily been. So all in all, night number 2, WrestleMania, a solid watch, a great way to end this weekend. Usually WrestleMania is kind of like the end of the season in a show, in my opinion. And then we start up again tonight on Monday Night Raw. But we have a lot of cliffhangers, Randy. So what storylines are you most looking forward to for Raw going forward tonight?
Judgment Day. Is there ever a doubt? Judgment Day, the status of it. John Cena coming out tonight. Like, definitely, let's see what will be going on. He is definitely you said it last week. He is publicized for being there tonight as well. There was no
3 weeks in advance.
Yeah,
3 weeks in advance. So I have to throw that out there too. WWE, there was a lot of hints being dropped here that this was going to happen. John Cena was going to be the champion. And one was what I just said, 3 weeks before selling tickets for the Las Vegas Raw. They did not promote Cody Rhodes being there. They promoted John Cena being there. Drumstick, one of the biggest sponsors of WrestleMania and the sponsor of this match, posted a short video of the championship, and one of the side plates was Drumstick and the other side plate was John Cena. So there was a lot of little hints out there that this was going to happen. And yeah, Randy, it happened. Here we are.
And what other from the weekend? No, it's just Judgment Day. More or less Judgment Day. It's always exciting. What
about you? What about you, Reid? What do you? I'll do mine last. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm most looking forward to Travis Scott. No, sorry, just on Raw on Monday. No, I think I agree with Randy. I think the Judgment Day story is kind of just heating up now, which I feel like I've been saying that for like 2 years straight. But no, I'm excited to see Dom versus Finn. I think that's like your only logical conclusion to probably breaking up the Judgment Day forever, because how many more members can they add? It can't be the NWO. We can't have Hogan reviving his career and coming out there.
Well, I mean, in fairness to the Judgment Day, when they add, they remove as well. So
That's true.
They continue to evolve. They're kind of like Bullet Club-esque that way, right? I don't want to compare the two factions. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people heard me say that and are cringing, maybe turning things off. But it's kind of the same sense. If you remove, then you replace, right? Yeah. So, and
then can't compare the Bullet Club because they haven't been in the WWE at all. Like we had this conversation a little earlier. So yeah.
Bring back Festus. That's all I have.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
I apologize.
That's all I have to say.
apologize. You're supposed to say, shut up, Randy. That's all.
Okay. No. I should have compared them to the O'Godwins. You're right.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh my Lord, guys! Listen, that was the WrestleMania Night 2 recap. So thank you so much for joining us, listening, and tuning in to me, Rand, and Mr. Reid. Eric, we already plugged it before, but tell us a little bit more about your band and the upcoming music video with such stars as myself.
That is correct. That is correct. As you and Bobby B playing highway patrolman, I guess you could say. No, it's going to be good. We just finished our new album. We're hoping to release it within probably the next 3 or 4 weeks, which is awesome. It will coincide with the music video that you starred in yourself, driving my car around the streets of Mississauga. Yeah, no, it should be fun. If you like, I know we're a wrestling themed name band. We're not a wrestling band, but if you do like, I guess Every Time I Die, that's, I guess, the closest comparison I can go for that. And you like punk and metal, come check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. That is the new Age Outlaws.
There you go. Randy, go ahead and plug us, brother. Tell us more about the network. Tell everybody more about the Hub and where they can listen to us and other great shows.
Well, first of all, I just want to go, yes, definitely go follow Spotify. And Eric, thank you for joining us today with the bangers, New Age Outlaws on Spotify. Where can they follow us? We're on the YouTubes. Our numbers are just going up and up and up by the 1s to 2s every single day. Yeah, we're on the YouTubes at Draw Straws Raw, or go follow the Hub. The Hub in general, just look up on any podcasting platform at the Hub Sports Entertainment, or at Huge Pop Radio as well on any of the social platforms. And thank you everybody for listening. News to come on Sunday night's main event still. News.
Lots of news.
Where can they follow you, Eric?
Well, you can follow me on the Hub. You can find me there on the Hub. I comment on things sometimes. You can send me a message on the Facebooks, on the Instagrams. Just follow us on the YouTubes. Nothing makes me happier than people following us on the YouTubes. And also nothing makes me happier than just saying YouTubes instead of YouTube. It's Randy's gimmick. It's stuck. And we are sticking with it. Just like Randy is sticking with the banana a day keeps the doctor away. No? Yes?
Yes, no, 100%. It's better than Carlito's Apple gimmick right now. Put it that way.
There you go, folks. All of the fruits, all of the bananas, all of the roast beef on Draw Straws Raw, where you can find me and Randy. So until the next time, again, thank you for joining us. But take care of yourselves and each other and continue to live your lives impactfully.
Reese, what did you think of WrestleMania weekend? It was freaking fantastic, lady. And live, laugh, and love wrestling.
Deuces.
I'm Chiquita Banana, and I've come to say bananas have to ripen in a certain way, and when they're flecked with brown and have a golden hue, bananas taste the best and are the best for you. You can put them in a salad. No, not yet, my dear. That greenish way you're looking means that you are ripe for cooking.
How about me?
No. When you are fully ripe, my dear, those little flecks of brown appear.
Me?
You're most digestible, my friend. Delicious, too, from end to end. You can put them in a pie, any way you want to eat them. It's impossible to beat them. But bananas like the climate of the very, very tropical equator. So you should never put bananas in the refrigerator. Bananas are a solid food that doctors now include in baby's diet. And since they are so good for baby, I think we all should try it. Oh! See.